everyone, and welcome to another live. This is a recording version, by the way, but it is because I cannot be here at the same time that the recording is scheduled. I hope you forgive me for that. Today I want to talk to you about the consistency and the importance of being consistent. Consistent from when you say anything about your product that it does, to 5 minutes later when you show the product and the product should do exactly what you just said. Consistency from when you welcome someone in your company and you explain them what it's going to happen to them for the service that they need to be provided to them, and you're not saying one thing now and by the end of the conversation you say something else that conflicts anything that you said. Any one point, what I mean, it's going to be very critical and very damaging. Consistency, it's not just key, it is critical. And it can damage your credibility, it can damage your business, it can make your clients run away from you like a plague. It's very important to have the right conversations. But the next important thing in a business is to be consistent. Have consistency. Making sure that whatever you're saying and all the other team members are saying is the same thing. Maybe on a different level of a detail, absolutely, but it is the same thing. I had to experience, unfortunately, inconsistency, all kind of the levels, all kind of different levels, and unfortunately, people in authority, they just told me one thing, and it was another thing that actually happened, and it just reminded me how important this is for a leader and for even our team members. It is so key when you serve someone to look from the client point of view. I love those leaders that I heard that they go and they fly their planes. They know exactly that they could be there and just they want to have the same experience like everybody else has it. They go to their employees without telling that they're president of the company. People may not recognize them, or they even try not to show up as who they are exactly from the very second, right? And they do that just not to spy on people, just to check that the consistency in the message that is getting across and all the policies and the things that are created at a high level and on paper are actually happening on the field. You could do this. You could pay attention. You could have conversations that are so important with one another to figure it out. Do role players. If I do something and I say to you, how did I make you feel? Did you trust me when I said that? Turn it around and do it again for the other person, and you're going to be now the one that are going to receive that feedback, or you are going to be the one who are going to receive the experience, and you're going to tell them exactly how that made you feel. It is very important to keep your team more than trained. I heard a story when someone told me that they didn't have to learn how to operate a new tool. They chose not to go to training. It was like, I didn't have time. I didn't want to do this training. So I just kind of figured out how to push some buttons. And my question in my mind was, how much of that tool is not explored? How much she misses on what else is possible to do with this that you have no idea because you didn't take the time to go to a training. People don't go to training. They don't like to learn in that kind of environment necessary. What they like to do is to have be included, be embedded into the experience, and make that training, if possible, more of a coaching kind of a session. Everybody can be a coach to another person. That's what we're doing when we are in that conversation and we're in the listening mode. We are coach. We connect with others. We could do that. If we can learn how to do that, we have to learn to look and listen and understand that consistency is not just key, but it's critical. How you stay in this business that you have, and how you manage when you have so many employees, maybe thousands. It's harder, I agree, but it's not impossible to implement a way for you. If consistency gets to you as being as critical as I'm telling you it is, you will find ways to make sure that all the time you check for the right important decision points to be done in the right way, and that everybody understands not what to do, but why they're doing certain things. Because your clients are going to ask questions, and when they ask the question and you don't have the answer and you're trying to make the answer, make it up, do you feel that? And you lose trust because somebody just lied into your face, making up something, and you know that was a made up kind of a response with no basis. But when you're up to date with information that's needed and you have numbers, our tool performs in this way, in that environment, under certain degrees, you need to know that. If you watch and if you know your thing, your product or your service inside out, there is no way not to know how to answer any of the questions that someone may have. And they don't ask you to test you. They ask you to trust you. It's a difference here because you own them to stay in trust with your company and with yourself. Because if they lose trust, they lose interest and they go away. And one thing that can keep you separated from any other competition is your trust level, the connection that you can make with that person and with your audience and with your clients. When you lose that, it's going to be very, very detrimental. And it's very hard to recuperate, almost impossible. So how are you hiring the right people? The mission-focused attitude. Those that they care enough. They care enough to open a manual and read or understand or want to watch some videos, or more than that, ask questions. Why is this happening? Or why am I doing this? And want to understand what's the reason for us that this team does X. How are we fitting in a bigger picture? And how are we supporting our external customer or internal customers? Because in teams you have different departments and one may be the client of the other team. We may be under the same roof, but we serve each other. So it's very important to know that if you lose this, the easiest way to lose it is through inconsistencies. And if you don't know an answer, you better say, I'm going to find out. And you just go and check, ask a friend. So it's good to have friends at work, or ask that. Hopefully you have a database with information that you need to go to, and you capture the knowledge that everybody needs to know and share with one another. So I'm talking about this consistency because I have experienced in the past how it is to hear from things like it takes 5 days when actually it took 7 days, or it takes, you need 3 things and you're never going to get the 4th because it's not good for you. And then in a couple of hours, I got the thing that I was told and it's not good for me. So it's very, very unsettled. And you don't want to go there anymore. You don't want to be part of the same experience. But sometimes you're kind of forced. There is no other place to go. But other times, there will be other places for people to choose and go. So please, pay a lot of attention to this. And play a fair game. Yes. Tell someone, I'm going to take you from here and I'm going to get you here. Tell them what's happening with your tool. If you use our tool for X amount of time, this is what's happening. If you use it for more, this is what happens. And most of the clients that we have report X or Y. Use numbers, know your numbers. Use data as much as you can, case studies. Give them information, educate them so they can stay clear that they feel that they can trust you. They can trust you to ask the questions when they actually want to. And when they receive those answers, they will know they're on the right hands. So I hope you're not taking this lightly, because there is no fast fall from something, then from losing your trust and your probably the companies that I heard that they went super quickly out of the market. And as a leader, the same with leaders. There is nothing that takes a leader away from the map than not being consistent and messing things up with the numbers such a way that is obviously not that it feels that it doesn't know what they're doing, or it feels like they're hiding something, which is even worse. So be transparent, be open for communication, but also be super, super consistent. And when you see that you don't have consistency, fix them. It's easy. You get a team together and you find out, you talk to them about those things right away and tell them, this is so important. You want everybody to be in the same line of communication and saying the same thing to your clients. You could do this. If you want a high-performing team, you want to hire those people who are going to be there when you are not there. They can run the business and they can run the team, and you can stay home or wherever you need to be, knowing that everything is going to be so smoothly operated because you took the time to have those drills with them. You took the time to train with them. You took the time to know them so well and to understand that if you step back for a couple of days or how long you needed to, forced or not sometimes for circumstances, you are going to make sure that everything goes smoothly and the company moves along, the team does what it needs to be done. That's a performing team. That's a team that you want to have and build, not the one that you're going to control them and tell them all the time what to do, because that's going to be dependent only on you. And as long as it may make you feel important, it's going to make you very sick quite easily, because you cannot do what 10 people can do. It's not even to cross your mind that you'll be able to do that. Even if they're at the very beginning of their career, they're 10. And you may be very wise, but if you're so wise, you should share with them everything you know, and you should enable them quickly to be 10 of you. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here. I apologize again. Forgive me for not being live. I'm gonna put this tomorrow when it needs to be. And please leave me your comments, any questions, any ideas that you got from this, anything that can be helpful, useful, or you didn't like it. Just tell me. I'm okay. Thank you. And I hope you're going to have a beautiful, consistent day. See you.